Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Nerdology channel. I'm Mohamed, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Taotronics Pulse X Bluetooth speakers. Now these are some affordable speakers from Taotronics, of course. These cost usually around $28 on Amazon. I'm going to put the links down below in the description box. And yeah, these are on the affordable range of Bluetooth speakers. But make no mistake, these are not your average affordable Bluetooth speakers. Those are some pretty badass speakers, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about why are they an amazing bang for the buck at the price range that they're set in. First off, let's go a little bit with the box, what comes in it. As you can see, there's a big massive logo for the Pulse X. This is exactly the model TT-SK10, but don't worry, there's only just one model for the Pulse X. There are other models from Taotronics as Bluetooth speakers, of course, but this is the only Pulse X model that is available on the market. What I love about Taotronics mostly is their unboxing experience. I mean, this is one thing that they really stand out in. The boxes always just look fancy, well made, well thought out. Here it is. It opens like that with a nice. The box refuses to stay open. With a nice "technology enhances life" slogan. This is just some foam paper on the front, and you're going to see here the box for the charging cable and the auxiliary cable and the manuals. You pop each one out like that. It's just beautiful. I love the kind of boxing experience that they provide. I just love to unbox Taotronics and some of the packaging here. So yeah, the packaging is really well done, and I just absolutely like it. I think it's fantastic. Taotronics always knocks this out of the park. So let's talk a little bit about the specs of the Taotronics Pulse X. This is an affordable Bluetooth speaker with an output, and the output is the highlight here. This has a dual 7-watt drivers, so that means a combined total of 14 watts when it comes to audio. So this is absolutely insane. I've done a lot of research looking for speakers that are actually better or louder than the Taotronics Pulse X, and I couldn't find anything with a 14 watts output in this compact size. So again, dual 7-watt speakers on the front, and the bass radiator is actually set on the back. Now, of course, both sides do look similar, but you know, it's actually quite obvious. You know, the buttons are set in this way, so that means the front is here and the back is here. The Taotronics logo is like this. So yeah, again, it's really simple to know which side is the front. So I suggest when you're listening to the Taotronics speaker, set it like this, facing you, because I don't know, like when you set it in any other position, like sideways or to the back, it sounds a little bit odd. I don't know why, but it just sounds a little bit odd. And I also suggest that you put something behind it, for example, like the box of the Taotronics, or something else like the wall or something. I don't know. But this somehow amplifies the bass coming out from the speaker, and it just sounds 10 times better. Now the bass already sounds fantastic, but with an object that blocks the back of the Taotronics speaker, it just sounds better. It just amplifies the bass and it makes it sound overall better. So these has about 8 hours of battery life. That means they can play music for about 8 hours. They have, of course, all the bells and whistles of standard Bluetooth speakers. They have a USB charging port. That's a standard USB charging port. No USB-C here. There is a mic, which again I'm going to talk a little bit about the call quality a little bit later, and an auxiliary port just in case if you don't want to use the Bluetooth connectivity option on the speaker. On the top here you're going to find the LED light, which indicates many statuses, including connecting and trying to connect and pairing and calls and whatever. All kinds of statuses will appear on this LED light. The logo, of course, and 5 buttons here. That is the power, the Bluetooth, the pairing button to be specific. And so not every time when you're turning on the Bluetooth speaker, you're going to have to use the pairing button or the Bluetooth button, because when you just open or turn on the Bluetooth speaker, it just connects automatically. Once, of course, you get through the process of the pairing, and of course, this is the calls. You just press the call button and you answer the call. And there's the play and pause, and the of course, volume down and volume up. Now, the play and pause, all of the buttons anyway on this speaker, they feel tactile. They have a really nice tactility to them, and I really love the feel of the buttons. And they're also extremely responsive. Usually in most Bluetooth headphones or even Bluetooth earbuds, there is a bit of a delay when it comes to response. So I press the button and there's a bit of a delayed response to the, for example, like the device, I don't know, just gets the command late. I don't get it. I don't get why, probably because of the Bluetooth connection. But yeah, this thing is really fast. It's almost instant. Just the moment you press the button, boom, it pauses the video. And the moment you press it again, it plays the video. It's pretty fast and pretty responsive, which I think is something that is really cool about the speakers. So let's talk a little bit about the weight of this device. Now, I think this stands, in terms of size and in terms of weight anyway, I think it's about average. I don't think it's too heavy. I don't think it's too light. I think it's about right. I don't think it's really heavy. And besides, this thing has about 4,000 mAh battery. In order to run this absolute beast for 8 hours of battery life, you're going to need about 4,000 mAh battery. So it takes about almost 3 hours to charge, which, again, considering the battery, I don't think it's that bad. It's really good considering the battery. And again, so I don't think this is heavy. This has the proper heft to it, and I love the matte finish on the top. It's just beautiful. It's not glossy. It's not going to attract a lot of fingerprints. It's just a matte finish that just feels soft, and it just adds to the premium feel of the device. I'm not going to say it feels extra premium, but it just feels solid. Everything feels well made, well put together, and it just feels good. I know the design might be a bit bland. It's just a rectangular box, nothing that really stands out in terms of design. But yeah, it gets the job done. Again, Taotronics here focuses on one very important aspect: the sound, and we're going to talk a lot more about that a little bit later on. And of course, let's talk a little bit about the microphone. The microphone, I don't know. I tried to use this in my car, and I had the speaker set on the dashboard, and I closed all the windows and everything, and I didn't have a lot of traffic around me. But when I answered the call, the caller on the other side just had a bit of a problem listening to me. He said that I wasn't clear enough, and I don't know. I had a lot of trouble. Now, I didn't have a problem listening to him. It was quite clear, really loud. I mean, this works phenomenally well with Google Maps and all of these map applications. If your phone has lousy speakers, which it probably does, this is the perfect solution to listening music, to using Google Maps navigation or whatever. It is perfect. It's loud, it's clear, it sounds fantastic. But when it comes to calls, you're gonna have a lot of problems. I suggest using your own speakerphone or whatever for making calls, and everything else using the Taotronics speakers. Now, let's talk a little bit about the range of this thing. The range is actually quite decent. Now, I'm not going to say it beats the range on some of the other headphones that I had. For example, I had the Bluetooth T2 Turbine, and I think this one, among all the other headphones that I've had pretty much the best range. I can go all the way almost to the end of my own house, and it would still play just fine without disconnecting. The Taotronics, however, that's not the case. The most I can go as far as, I don't know, I'd say maybe another room. Yeah, for example, if I'm in the kitchen and I went to, say, the bathroom, it's going to play just fine. Anywhere far from that, like two rooms distance, there's going to be a bit of a problem. It's going to start disconnecting. It's going to start cutting up a lot, and that's not going to sound good. So the range is average. It's not phenomenal. It's average. So yeah, it's almost up to 10 meters. It's usually the most of the specs on all of the other Bluetooth headphones or Bluetooth speakers. It's 10 meters of a distance, but there's a lot of variance to go into this. For example, the materials on the wall and the objects between you and the device. It makes a lot of difference. For me, though, I thought the distance was absolutely decent. I didn't have any complaints. It didn't drop the signals. It always sounded clear, and no degradation in sound quality or anything. Everything sounded just fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the sound experience, and oh my god, this sounds amazing. This sounds fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to say that the bass rivals the most powerful headphones, or the most powerful speakers, or the most powerful headphones in the world. I'm not going to say it rivals that, but it certainly packs a punch. It does have a lot of really good bass emphasis, and I'm not going to say it's just amazing head-rattling bass, a bass that's going to shake the windows of your own house. No, but it's really good bass. It's a really good bass that actually provides a good experience, or for example, a good vision on how this song should sound like, or this soundtrack should sound like. And I gotta be honest, this thing actually managed to beat some of the other speaker solutions that I had in my own house, some of the speakers that were hooked up to the TVs and whatnot, and even the laptops and PCs that I had. It actually rivaled them in terms of treble response and bass response. And I just loved them, and the clarity. Again, this says, the specifications on this says it has HD speakers. Now I don't know if that statement holds true, but my God, these things are absolutely clear. I mean, the clarity is fantastic. It's phenomenal. Every time I listen to these speakers, I have a big, wide grin on my face because I love how clear these things sound. The bass is again pretty good. It's not the best, it's not amazing, but again, in this price range, it is going to be far better than any other headphone, any other speaker, and even louder than any other speaker. There are some affordable competitors like the Xiaomi and the Huawei Honor speakers and the Anker probably, but again, this provides the loudest output and probably the best bass response and probably the best treble. So I know it's not going to be fair to kind of like turn these things on and try them out on YouTube. It's not going to provide the proper sound example for it, but I'm going to play a song a little bit and maybe turn on these things to their maximum loudness. And again, if you turned on these things to the maximum loudness, they will make some noise. I mean, these things are able to drown out an entire room with sound easily, and even sound loud. Like they will sound very, very loud. Like I haven't actually thrown a party using these things, but I know I can. Like it's a possibility. It's definitely coming up sometime. So here's a song I'm gonna play. You're gonna turn on the Bluetooth speakers like this. Just hold on the power button. It's going to immediately connect to the tablet. It's a relatively simple process. And I'm going to play a song here. This is as loud, this is the loudest possible volume.
I tell them, slow down, you know you can't touch me.
Again, these things are absolutely insanely loud. I mean, this is the loudest possible volume, and again, it depends highly on the DAC unit of your device. If you have an even more powerful device like the Axon 7, for example, or the LG V20, or a really respectable portable DAC from, for example, Creative or something, you are going to get insane level of outputs out of these things. I don't know if this is actually the maximum volume of the Taotronics Pulse X. And again, this sound test isn't really going to be fair to the Taotronics Pulse X, but I got, using my own judgment, I'd say this is the best Bluetooth speaker I picked up so far, and I absolutely love it. I mean, this is where it's at. You know, this is exactly where I want Bluetooth speakers to be, to sound like this, to have bass like this, to be at this form factor and this size, and able to provide really good battery life. 8 hours of battery life is plenty enough for me, and able to provide this extremely comparable sound experience to hi-fi systems. It's not on par, but boy, it gets close. Boy, it gets close in terms of the treble, in terms of the mids, in terms of the bass. It gets close. It provides a very similar experience to the hi-fi systems in this portable form factor, and it's wireless. So again, I loved this Taotronics Pulse X, and I think it's absolutely worth every penny. Even at $29, it's $28. It's 100% worth the value. Go pick it up if you're interested in getting one of those portable Bluetooth speakers. This is a phenomenal entry. If this is like your first Bluetooth speakers, do pick this up. You are going to be blown away, and maybe it's going to be your go-to speakers. I mean, you're not going to have to change these Bluetooth speakers with anything else because these are going to be absolutely satisfactory. So again, that was it for the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.